Hi there, everybody. John Anderson Pierre, the Beer and TV Ramble, on a nice, chilly, cool, chilly day. Um, Sampling Guinness Draught, 4.2% ABV. Some say it's maybe 4.1, 4.2, 3, 4.1, 4.3, but 4.2, according to the Guinness website. An Irish dry stout style. Oh, little shh. I'm going to like this. Big fan of this beer. Of course, the Guinness Drought is extra stout. I should say is pretty much common and world renowned everywhere in the United States. So pretty much everyone sees the foreign extra stout. The Guinness extra stout is the original, and that's the one that's at 5% ABV. Brewed in Dublin, a pasteurized stout. Had this in the refrigerator for 2 days, so it's pretty cold. Um, so it gets an okay score on Beer Advocate as well as the Bros. So whiff of this beer, you can smell a lot of the a lot of very malts. It's a very um, like sort of like a bit of chocolate scent to it. Roasted coffee. It's nothing unlike the extra stout, but you can smell the malts already. Very roasted malts in this, so very rich. And as you can see, I have very little head in it. Looks some lacing on top, just a little, not much. So let's cheers. Let's drink. Yeah, I like. Yeah, this is excellent. This is good. Um, with Guinness, oh boy, they have right over here. That drought. It's pretty much everywhere in kegs and in it says, excuse me, this is 1959, established in 1759, according here. And of course, Guinness, like I says, a legendary beer. I mean, in based in Ireland, um, like centuries of brewing, um, and of course, ownership of the Guinness name has remained. I think the ownership is on the Diageo, if I'm correct, but um, they have their beers are pretty much everywhere. The stout, you get this on draft um, at in kegs, bottles. Paid. I didn't get a cigar. I got a mix six, a pick six. I did at the store, and it came up to about $7.99. So I was able to get this here. Um, like I said, Guinness is so well known, and what I've always appreciated about their beers, and I consider the fathers. They are the godfathers of all the imperial or the sort of heavy stouts or strong beers. Is their the way of how their texture, the their craft on how to do their beers, and the process of doing their beers. I saw a video on their website of how they put this thing together and this beer and some of their other beers, and I'm just very like in awe and what it takes to make sure they put the perfect stout out. Now, I'm looking at the bottle here. I'm trying to see. It says brewed in Dublin. Okay. Brewed in Ireland, Guinness and Stout, St. James Gate, Dublin, Dublin 8, Ireland. Brews of distinction since 1759. Imported by Diageo, Guinness USA, Norwalk, Connecticut. So That is their do the manufacturing and production here, but it's brewed the style and the recipe is brewed in Ireland. So the texture is very smooth. It has a nice little finish going down. Very like it's like a good, not say coffee, but it's kind of like a very firm um, easiness to it. It's not it's sweet, but not overly sweet. Some of the other stouts that are out there are pretty sweet, and some I kind of like. The Lagunitas and the 1050. Um, the other day I had what's the other the bourbon barrel, but that was a little more sweeter than this. But this one here, um, it's just done right. It's just very very well balanced. Um, it's not hard at all. Like I said, I'm a big stout guy, so I've always enjoyed a beer like this on a given time. But again, most of the time I'll tend to have is the extra stout, not this. Um, Recently, one of my colleagues, Ronald J. Terrio, was mentioning how Guinness is now, I guess, with their brew, we're going to start getting more of the beers from Ireland that will be coming here instead of being brewed at that facility up in Latrobe, Pennsylvania. I think that's just what he's saying. I could be wrong, so forgive me if I'm throwing out some misinformation out there on that. But um, if that's the case, I'm looking forward to sampling because they're brewed here. I mean, brewed in Canada versus the one they brewed in Ireland, and I think we've been getting the one in Canada. I believe. I'm not sure, but again, don't quote me on that. That was what I heard. That's what the gist of the conversation I got from him. I probably need to watch that video again. But also he mentioned that you know Guinness. I'm not saying this, but the other Guinness will be brewed now as a malt liquor, which or high strong or high extra strong stout. I don't like using the word malt liquor. I just feel high gravity beers. I think that probably makes sense. High gravity or extra strong beer. Yeah, I think would be a better time. More high gravity. High gravity. So instead of a high gravity lager, I guess would be called a high gravity stout. So if that's the case, then great. If they want to put it in that viewpoint, but I think it's the original is probably one of my all-time favorites in that I probably more so consume in terms of all stouts than anything else. And this time of year, like I said, it's cold. And, you know, um, you want something a little more warm, a little fulfilling, and something like this would go well. And for go well like a nice little late little evening, you know, beverage to kind of sip, which is what I'm doing now, which I'm going to enjoy a little bit of this outside. Um, um, as far as this beer concerned, what was I getting at topic at? As far as this beer is concerned, I'm just got a lot of things I'm just throwing out there right now. This beer is concerned, it's I'm gonna give this about a good solid 9. I think sees nothing wrong with it. The why the bros and the beer advocate gave it a 9 score or an okay score. I guess I don't know. But this beer is consumed a lot, but also within our community, and I say those within the Caribbean community, we drink this quite a bit. I remember my dad with the original extra at the extra stout that he would make these shakes because of the health benefits, as people have probably read on the Guinness website or even on whatever website you can look at of what Guinness has given you for health benefits in terms of. I remember my dad mentioning using that. um, with blending milk with it, got evaporating milk, and I would have some of those shakes and those concoctions they would prepare, and they were quite good. Um, and there have been other styles kind of like this that I've had before that were kind of on the similar to Guinness, very malty, very dark, had a little coffee taste or a little scent to it. Roasted malts, roasted um, roasted barley, but had a nice finish, but it was very strong. Um, and I think that beer was about 5 or 6%. And I remember he bought one for us at some place he got it in New York City. I don't recall where. And he got myself one and my dad, and I mean myself one and my younger brother and my and a friend of ours, so someone that a family member that was staying with us at the time. Um, we sampled it. Who was visiting us and came over to the house. We had it and we drank it. It was quite good. Can't remember what the name of it was, but oh well. But food pairings with this beer, and even of course you can probably use this as a recipe. I say, I'm gonna put this in a chili with, you want to put this in with doing a roast, on a crock pot, pot roast with potatoes. This would go great with this. You know, a smoke Boston butt. Um, you know, you know, brisket. You know, would go great with this beer. You know, it'd be perfect. But then again, it's even a nice little late evening sip to have with friends. So I'm gonna go on and on. Um, a solid 9 for me on this beer. Tell me what you think if you like the Guinness Draught, if it's that way for you or it isn't. So, Jean and St. Pierre, the beer and tea round, telling you to keep watching, and as always, cheers. Good day.